Oh, now it says
5,
2.
4, 3.
Yeah, because I was in there for a second. 1. And we're live.
We're live.
Welcome back to the Fireside Studios, everybody. I'm your host, John, along with my other host, Steve,
Thank you.
and our third host, Adam /
So,
producer.
Our third leg.
Our third leg.
That was my nickname in high school.
I believe it.
I
Well,
Prove that
tripod,
shit.
but same kind of
Tripod. Oh,
pull it
Tripod's
out,
what they
prove
call
it.
I'm on the
Dick
camera.
jokes right off the bat. We're fucking off to a great start. How's everybody's Easter? Good?
good, man. Yeah,
Good.
yours.
Pope got one more Easter in him before he passed. R.I.P.
Damn.
Is there anything to the rumor that J.D. Vance killed him?
100%.
Soviet style, a little bit of poison behind the ear or some shit
You
like
can't discredit it at this point.
that? Right?
I mean, was there a signal leak about it? Did anybody put that in chat?
Dude, there's more signal shit.
What? For
I'm
real?
not going to talk
For
about
real?
it. Yeah.
I didn't hear about
I
that.
I
just-
didn't either. I just
learned about it this morning. We'll do just a little teaser. We're going to start doing a little
Is this
more
about the China backdoor technology? How they can get, or the Israeli? Which one of the things they can get into that?
No.
Oh,
This
okay.
is just another thing.
Okay.
We'll talk about it, and we're going to do another mini show this week. We're going to start doing an extra show just to talk about little subplots.
Throughout little teasers.
Throw a little teaser. So we'll talk about that later this week. Maybe Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday. But yeah, more Signal Gate stuff.
All right.
But no, I just think this is JD killed him.
Yeah.
And prove me wrong.
There's no witnesses.
Here's the thing. The Pope was very pro-immigration.
Yeah.
Pro-gay.
Yeah.
And everything that MAGA is not.
True.
So ipso facto, you got to go.
Bing, bang, boom. You're fine.
You're gay. JD, go kill him.
Art of the deal.
Pope's dead. JD
Art of
killed
the
him.
deal.
Prove me wrong. Is that the art of the deal?
Art of the deal, bro.
Fucking A, man. I love it. So here we are.
Oh, I just got a notification saying that we're streaming live.
We are streaming live.
But I got it on my watch.
11:30 every Monday or Tuesday, depending on when
whatever
when
the fuck we
C-shift
feel
falls.
like it.
Yeah, that's the thing. We can't get a normal schedule because we can never say, hey, it's going to be every Monday at
Yeah.
11:30 because
Keep them guessing. Keep them on their toes.
we're firemen. We have full-time
Yeah.
jobs.
You know.
Yeah.
And we're on shift. That we got to do it when we do it. All right.
Yeah.
But right now, so I've got it's a little topic that it's fairly controversial.
Those are my favorite.
That's got me a lot of heat on
Okay.
on X platform.
Does it have to do with Shmishmariel?
No,
Okay.
it doesn't. But everything else on X apparently does.
Okay.
Everything is Israel, and like people are.
It's a hot topic right now, dude.
Don't be so anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
We can
Jeez.
talk more about that
Oh, me?
later. But this one is about the fight for the American soul.
Okay.
It's a little story about a man named Kilmar Abrego Garcia,
Okay.
allegedly an MS-13
Common
gang.
spelling.
Garcia is, yes.
100%. Okay.
But the rest of this is a man that was deported allegedly wrongfully, wrong or rightfully, depending on what side you fall on or what you want to believe. But again, the bigger story is it's the fight for America's soul.
Right.
So how much do you know about this story?
Uh,
The Maryland man.
So this is the guy who was deported because he's allegedly a gang member. His wife started like all this whole online social media campaign showing like pictures of them together. But what I've seen,
Not even his wife. It was just
or
everybody.
girlfriend or whoever.
It
yeah.
is his wife.
But
is his
it's
wife.
funny because what I've seen is like they've so conveniently like airbrushed some of or edited some of his tattoos out, some of his gang affiliated tattoos, and like they'll do the state fair airbrush picture where they're like this,
Okay.
but like his tattoos are like blurred out. So
Yeah.
like on the stuff that she's posting, he's such a good guy, he's family man. This is all wrong.
We could talk about his tattoos though, and I'm just not buying the subtle language of the MS-13.
Can I show you one?
Yeah, absolutely. I
Have
know
you-
exactly. What
Have
you're
you
talking
seen
about.
this one?
Yes.
Okay. And then we can't zoom in.
Now, so this was one that Trump got from Bukele, the El Salvadorian president.
Yeah, so this was what Trump posted, and he had his blurb underneath it. And it said, "This is the hand of the man that the Democrats feel should be brought back to the United States because he is such a, in quotes, fine and innocent person." They said he is not a member of MS-13, even though he's got MS-13 tattooed on his knuckles. And two highly respected courts found that he was a member of MS-13, beat up his wife, etc. "I was elected to take bad people out of the United States, among other things. I must be allowed to do my job, make America great again."
President Donald Trump.
Yeah, as a weak Donald Trump. But
So let me clarify this.
Yeah.
If you're looking at the picture real quick, The MS-13 that's on his knuckles is not part of it. That's what they put in.
That confused me at first.
No,
I was like,
confused me
I was
too.
like,
Yeah,
they really expect us
Because
to believe this
everything
shit?
in the comments was like,
No.
how the fuck does does his
Like, what
font,
does this fucking
how does
mean?
the
What are
font
you
across the
talking
top of the
about?
page match the MS-13 on his knuckles? And I was like, holy shit, I didn't even catch that the
Yes.
first time.
Looks typed as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, they expect me to
Yeah.
believe
Yeah,
this?
so it's not. They just did the little, what's it called, where symbols stand for letters, an anagram or some shit like that.
Yeah.
I'm probably wrong on
Whatever.
But so they say the marijuana leaf stands for M.
For marijuana.
The smiley face stands for S.
S.
The cross stands for 1.
Okay.
And the skull stands for 3.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I
Yeah.
haven't known this to be a shy gang in their tattooing. Adam, can you just pull up, like, do an image search for MS-13?
Oh, yeah. It's all over their
Tattoos.
faces.
Well,
MS-13.
Before I do that, I was going to show you guys this. I don't know if you've seen it, but here's a post I came across from either his or his wife's Instagram or TikTok or whatever. Here,
Yeah.
I'll pull it up here. And so, like, they did actively cover
Yeah,
it.
they actively cover all. And there's other posts too.
Well, no,
where-
because his tattoos are right there. You'd see them. Unless they
No, but on his finger, his
On
knuckle
it, see where
tattoos.
the-
what I'm saying, they
hearts are?
didn't cover it out with his heart. That it's on his left hand, is it not? The tattoo
Oh, I don't
of
know.
the finger.
That one is. That's his left
Yeah.
hand.
And
Oh,
same
that's
in the
weird.
picture. It's
Never
not.
caught
It's
that.
not.
Good catch.
But it's not. His hand isn't tattooed in that picture.
No.
And
So
the other one.
So that's his left one, right?
I know. In the picture Adam just
I
showed.
know. Go back to it. There's his left hand.
Yeah, but it's not tattooed.
That's what I'm saying. This like
So,
So
whose
someone is
hand
saying
is
that-
that?
Mm.
Sancho's.
Oh, shit, boys.
so. No, all I'm saying is either they airbrush it out in that he didn't have it,
Or we
but,
got it after.
but they're not trying to cover it.
Or we
like,
got
with
it
those
after.
hearts. People are saying that he's trying to cover it up with the hearts. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's his other hand. That's the hearts over.
Mm.
Whatever. All I'm saying is, I don't give a fuck if he's a gang member. I don't. Let's assume he is the biggest scumbag gang member in the world.
Okay.
Okay. Let's make that assumption. Again, this to me is not a case about the man. All right. It's bigger than that, in my opinion. But let's just go kind of off his little timeline here.
Okay.
So he grew up in El Salvador. That's not alleged. He did. He had, his family had a business. There was some other gang. I wish I could remember the name of the gang right now, but they harassed the family quite a bit. Extortion money, like gangs do, like in
Mhm.
poor countries, like they try to extort them, mafia style. Even going as far as saying that they were going to kidnap Kilmar. I don't even, yeah, it's got to be Kilmar Obrego Garcia. They said they were going to kidnap him. Anyway, he flees to America at the age of 16 years old. And
Because he's a rival gang member, they're going to kidnap him.
the story goes they were going to kidnap him because his parents weren't paying or like to
Got it.
extort money.
Sure.
He
Okay.
could have been an MS-13 gang member in El Salvador,
Okay.
which I'm going to assume that a lot of poor people in those countries are gang members,
Sure.
right? You click up.
Community.
I mean, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like, it's here in America, it's everywhere. That's kind of what happens. You don't have a lot of options. You're poor. You join a gang. Better or worse, you do some fucked up shit. We're going to assume he's a gang member, right? Okay, so he comes to the United States for what? I'm assuming a better life to get away from that shitty life where
Opportunity.
he's like
Sure.
about to get kidnapped. Anyway, so he immigrates here. He winds up getting a job. He winds up getting married to a U.S. citizen. So
Okay.
he is married to
Was
a
he
US
legal
citizen.
at the time?
He's never been legal.
Okay.
Never been legal.
Okay.
He entered illegally.
Okay.
We know that. No, I don't think anybody's disputing that fact. Nobody will, and we won't even dispute the fact that he's a gang member,
Okay.
right? Other than the only evidence they offer is that tattoo on his hand and he had a Chicago Bulls hat.
Okay.
Jesse
Bulls?
Waters, go ahead. What?
They like the Bulls?
They like the Bulls. Jesse Waters was arguing on Fox News with this guy is a massive douchebag in my opinion, but he's arguing like, look, he's wearing a Chicago Bulls hat. Who likes the Bulls? Do you think he can name one player on the Bulls? The Bulls won 20 games last year. Like, you think people just wear Chicago Bulls?
Historically, they're probably one of the most popular
Yeah.
NBA
Why
teams.
don't you settle down?
Ever?
Cowboy?
And if you're from a poor country, like
Yeah.
you've probably heard of or Air Michael Jordan.
Well, and they probably
I don't
have
know why I
like.
did that.
I know why you did it. It's probably like where they send like the because you know got you at the right time. You know how they anytime there's a championship, they run off 2 sets of
Yeah, yeah.
hats and shirts. Like they probably have all the old stuff. They,
Well, yeah,
like, their
dude,
history of sports is probably all fucked up.
Depending on the area of the world you're in,
The Bulls
team-
have never won.
Well, it depends. I mean, the other team won who was in the Super Bowl? Who won the Super Bowl this year and who lost?
Kansas City
No.
lost.
Because over in Africa they won.
They probably think they're the
Yeah.
champs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, somewhere in Somalia, the Chiefs are the 3-time champs.
You know what I mean?
What was
So
that guy?
maybe-
The Somali gang or not Somali?
Haitian?
Congo
The Haitian barbecue?
barbecue.
Fucking-
Barbecue's running.
What's up with barbecue these
Kansas
days,
City
dude?
Chiefs and barbecue. Nothing goes
Dude.
together better, dude.
Right?
I think they got a new spokesperson.
I don't have a Haitian accent because it's kind of Creole.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have that. I'll work on it.
Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
Don't.
I feel like it's gonna come out like.
Don't give it a shot.
I love to racism, bro.
Not today.
Not today, Satan. All right.
So anyway, he comes here. He gets a job. He is a member of a fucking union. Like he's not just like out on the street corner selling drugs. So anyway, he was picked up one time allegedly out looking for work, right? Home Depot style out work. He was
as union workers do.
Well, no,
sure.
just because like union's not like us back
side
east. You could be a member of a union back east
and still do your own on your day. Yeah,
and also be completely unemployed. Right,
you just pay into your
especially
if trades probably makes sense.
You become a journeyman, all that kind of shit. It's different than it is in our fire department. Sure. So he gets picked up, and there were other MS-13 gang members there. Again, we will just concede the fact that he's a gang member for the sake of this argument. I won't even argue that. Although there was an unnamed informant, that is the only reason they said he's a gang member of MS-13. An unnamed informant from New York who was nowhere near Maryland where he got picked up. Anyway. So go on. He gets arrested. He's detained because he entered the country illegally. They were going to deport him. He had a case made for him with his attorney that he cannot be returned to El Salvador because of the gang violence, like the whole reason he left in the first place. Judge says, okay, you made a compelling case. You can stay here. Like, I can't remember what they call it. I wrote it down here. It's
temporarily.
It is. I mean, it truly is.
Yeah.
Like, you can be deported anyway. They just said you cannot deport. We can deport you, just not to El Salvador. Yeah. Anyway, he gets released, goes about his life, checks in with ICE every year. Like, it's not like this guy's hiding or ducking or trying to go to Los Angeles, get away from this area, nothing. He checks in every year. He has been employed. And anyway, since they have been checking in, they know exactly where he's at. And when Trump came in, he ran on getting rid of the worst of the worst, the gang members, right? So I'm assuming in a database somewhere, it said Kilmar Abrego Garcia, MS-13 gang member, right? So like, okay, we know right where this motherfucker is. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah.
Which, okay, right? That's what he ran on. That's what people want him to do. That's what I want him to do, right? So they get him and they deport him immediately to El Salvador.
Okay.
The one place he is federally mandated, he cannot go.
I guess the question is like, where is he supposed to go then? So if he's from if he's from El Salvador, has family there, can't go back there because of gang affiliations. Now we decide he can't be here. Do we just drop him off someplace where he knows like what's better?
I totally.
We're gonna put you in Australia, bro. Good luck. Like,
but here's the thing: they didn't drop him in El Salvador. They put him in that CCOT prison.
Oh, okay.
They put him in the maximum security prison, which is for the hardest core gang members going. Right. Which maybe they say that gang that he was running from doesn't exist anymore. Maybe not. Who are we to say?
Sure.
It's a convenient thing to say that they're gone.
Right.
And a lot of people do say that. But how the fuck do you know? Do you live in El Salvador? I don't. Anyway, so they put him in this prison, and this prison apparently, like, you don't leave this prison.
Yeah.
We send them there. We have them on an annual retainer to retain these people for a year. It renews every year. There is nothing that says these people will be released, when they'll be released, anything. Mind you, this guy's only crime is coming to this country illegally, which we've already determined is, I think, is a civil.
So he has no police record while he's been here. Nope. He has no.
Just that one time that he was picked up with other gang members, no criminal charges whatsoever. Everyone says that he's the worst of the worst. Anyway, there was one thing you could say that you pointed to, and again, no charges. His wife filed a temporary restraining order for him for violence. So the wife, anyway, they went to counseling, worked it out. They asked his wife why that was. She said, I previously come from an abusive relationship. She had 2 kids with this other guy who was apparently abusive. Came from an abusive relationship. I saw a little bit of signs. I freaked out. Yeah. I filed it. We went to counseling. We worked it out.
You know what I wonder when I hear that?
What?
What'd she say?
Oh,
what did she say? What did she
you talk about in the previous relationship?
In both.
Well, there's no evidence.
What are you running your mouth about that dudes want to hit you?
Well,
you know what I mean?
She's
right.
I've dated quite a few Hispanic women, and they run their mouth.
They don't say that. The question needs to be asked. What'd you say?
I'm not saying they should be beaten.
No,
I'm saying I can see how it happens.
Sure,
that's all I'm saying.
All I said was what'd she say. That's all I wanted to know.
But anyway,
just asking questions
again.
Fact finding.
That's it.
No evidence. Like there was no charges filed. She didn't file any charges. The only charge she filed it wasn't a charge. It was a temporary restraining order. So that's it, right? And here he is in El Salvador, and everyone started making a big deal about this. Number one, because she's making noise that he is deported. He's married to an American citizen, but hey, we're getting rid of the illegals, right?
Trimming the fat.
So, trimming the fat. Want you to fire the fat people. So basically this case goes on, right? And it's caught a lot of attention. And people say, courts say, a Maryland court filed an injunction, said you have to bring him back by this date here. Where is it? I can't even remember. I have fucking tons of notes. By April 4th, you have to bring this guy back.
Okay.
And Trump, at the last minute, I shouldn't say Trump, but the Department of Justice filed an injunction saying, hey, we need an extension on this. Like, we can't bring him back. So the time passed when they're supposed to bring him back, right? And the Supreme Court wound up ruling saying that you have to bring him back. You have to facilitate his release and go through due process as if he was never deported. And the only thing is, you can't deport him to El Salvador.
Yeah.
And I've been arguing with people online left and right about you have to bring him back. If you can't just simply ignore the Supreme Court, because where does it end? Do you know who enforces the Supreme Court rulings? Department of Justice, Congress, all completely under Trump right now. There is nobody that will say no to him at this moment.
Yeah.
And what does that kind of lead towards historically?
Oligarchy.
Dictators, right? I mean, if just no one's going to check you, you're just going to say, Supreme Court, fuck it, right?
Yeah.
But where does it end? That is my point. Like, if we're going to ignore the Supreme Court on this, what are we going to ignore them on? It's just convenient for everybody to ignore them on this because they want all the criminals gone.
Right.
And again, I do too. I want it done right. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I want things done right. I want them done legally. So there's, number one, no challenges. We still maintain the fucking rule of law in this country. We have some semblance. That's what makes us a country, right? This isn't fucking Venezuela or El Salvador. We just do whatever the fuck we want.
Well, and that's the hard part, because so much of one of the things that Trump ran on was, making America great again, getting rid of the criminals. And I mean, myself,
I did too.
We all were
I
like,
still stand by
yes,
that.
I'm behind that. Get rid of the bad people. Don't let people into our country illegally. The people that are here, get rid of them. So it makes it hard when it's kind of like we talk about the death penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're all for it. But what about those gray areas where there's those situations where you're like, fuck, man, like I got to think about this like a human being. It's not real clear cut and dry.
Absolutely.
And I think there's a numbness in society where it's very easy for people to go, cost of doing business later.
Cost of doing
when it's
business.
your family member, it's somebody you care about. Like I think it's very difficult to view it from that angle.
Well, and furthermore, and if you make a mistake, fix it, right?
Yeah.
Don't just, that's what we did, so fuck you. That's how it's going to be. That's the scary part to me is if what we're saying is right and they fucked up on one, why are you fighting the Supreme Court who's telling you
the Supreme
Well, I feel like you would get more support if you took ownership. You're like, hey man, we made a mistake. We're going to fix this.
This is just more signal.
We're going to do right by our citizens.
This is more signal gate stuff where nobody can admit wrongdoing, like we fucked up. And that's kind of Trump's MO. And, one person admitted they fucked up. He was a solicitor general, I believe. And
the fuck is that?
They work for the Department of Justice.
Solicitor
a
general?
quick shout out to Ruben showing up in the chat.
What up,
Shout out,
Rube?
Ruben.
Thanks, buddy.
What up?
What's up?
Tell your friends, tell your family.
He doesn't have any friends. He has
fuck.
amigos.
Well, then who cares, right? Oh, he's got amigos.
Shit.
I love to racism, bro.
All right.
Almost for you, Ruben.
So I want to play this one video. This is a Fox News clip where they're talking to fucking Stephen Miller, who I've come to despise this guy. Something about him, I just want to punch his fucking face.
Yeah.
He's got a punchable face. So I'm going to play this. We'll let it play for a little bit. It's like 2 minutes. I'm sorry. But we can kind of go and pause it and break down some of the shit he's saying.
Fox, President Trump's getting ready to welcome the leader of El Salvador to the White House amid the fallout over a man mistakenly deported there. White House argues
This
it
is
does
the
not
guy.
have to bring him back. Supreme Court says you have to facilitate that. Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Homeland Security Advisor, here to straighten it out. And, sir, good morning to you. Got a couple minutes. I want to motor through a bunch of things here, okay? Here's the argument on topic number one. DOJ said a federal court cannot compel the executive branch to engage in any mandated act of diplomacy or incursion upon the sovereignty of another.
The court can't compel the executive branch to do that?
Right. They can't. So they can't tell. The court can't tell the president, say, hey, you have to make El Salvador send them back because El Salvador's a sovereign nation.
Right.
Here's the kick with that. So President Bukele was in the Oval Office with Trump, the president of El Salvador. And Trump saying, I can't bring him back. He's in his country. I can't just go in there and invade and take him out of there. That's him.
Don't you think he'd be real quick to go, I'll send him back to you?
No. So let's watch this. Listen, I wish I would have fucking linked this video because the two of them going back, you could tell they just kind of liked it. So anyway, Trump's like,
He's probably not even still alive.
So we can get to that too.
Okay,
so
we have proof of life?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the thought I had. I was like, what if?
Yeah,
what
fuck
if he
no.
fucking died. And
we'll
like,
get
this
into
is
all that shit. So Bukele said, or Trump says, he's in his country. He doesn't want to release him. I can't make him. Number one, we sent them there. We paid to send them there. Number two, we're paying to house them there. And number three, and most important, we're the goddamn United States of America.
Fuck yeah.
If we tell El Salvador, jump, you say how fucking high.
Yeah.
That's what you do, El Salvador. I'm sorry. That's just the way fucking power politics work in this world. I'm sorry. And so they say, well, President Bukele, the press is in the Oval Office. You know how these things go. So they ask him, it's like, President Bukele, will you be willing to release Kilmar Garcia? He's like, hey, look, so I can't just take, he's a terrorist. I can't take him out of my prison and send him to there. I can't smuggle a terrorist into the United States. That would be
smuggling.
I can't kidnap him and smuggle him into the United States. And Trump's like, yeah. The two people that could make the decision are both like, oh, I can't do it. He can do it.
It's like the Spider-Man meme.
It's exactly, no, him. He's the one. Like, so the two of them are playing this little freaking frack routine. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So no.
And everybody's buying it. Everyone's like, oh, makes sense.
So the court cannot compel them. Adam, can you just keep playing it? Just hit camera 4. Or you can play there, yeah.
Nation. So your argument is
Put it
that
back
you
on
don't
three
have to bring
box,
him
would you?
back
I'm sorry.
home, but will you?
So I want to correct, I hate to do it, Bill, but I got to correct you on every single thing that you said.
Oh, damn.
Every single thing.
Everything you said was wrong. I know you said one sentence, but it was all wrong.
First, we won the Supreme Court case.
We won the Supreme Court case. There was a Supreme Court ruling of 9-0. 9-0. That means not one dissenting voice.
Yeah.
And we could read the whole thing if you wanted to, but it's a lot of
In
legal
favor of
shit.
leaving him there?
Of bringing him back. It clearly says you have to bring him
just
back.
Fucking lied.
He went off in the White House saying the same thing. This is King Gaslight. This
guy?
is the guy. If he had a superpower, it is gaslighting.
Fucking cute.
Because when I initially heard it from a left-wing source that it was a 9-0 ruling in favor of bringing him back. And then I saw him do his thing in the Oval. I'm like, okay, well, I got to look into this. I read the order. I read all the legal citations.
So he just said they won the ruling, but he's lying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let me just break this down. Like, I'm sorry, this is fucking boring to a lot of people, but I really think it's a problem for this country. So the district court, as federal judge in Maryland, said you have to bring him back, right? The government's response to us says we don't want to bring him back, so they filed an emergency request to block bringing him back. Chief Justice Roberts steps in. They have a temporary pause on that, and the Supreme Court then makes the decision. And it voided the deadline. So in part, it says in the Supreme Court ruling, it says in part we withhold or we uphold the district court's ruling, and in part we decline it. The part they declined is the timeline to bring him back because it had already passed. That's it. Everything else in that ruling, and you can read it. I'll try to link it in the show notes, but you can read it for yourself. It's 4 pages, including legal citations of why they have to bring him back. And all it says is you have to bring him back and try him as though he was never deported. That's it. That's it. And so, Adam, continue playing it. 9-0. We won. We won.
Clearly, 9-0.
I could read it all to you, but it's boring.
Said unconscionably that the president and his administration have to go into El Salvador and extradite one of their citizens, an El Salvadorian citizen, so that would be kidnapping. That we have to kidnap an El Salvadorian citizen against the will of his government. And
first of all, look up the definition of kidnapping.
I'm
thinking if he wanted to come here and you asked him, like, hey, you want to come with me? He would go, I don't think you have to kidnap him against his will.
No, he didn't want to go there in the first place.
You kidnapped him to bring anyway.
So wait, is it possible that...
Go ahead. What do you got to say?
Is it possible that this guy is misinformed and somebody was like, hey, that 9-0 ruling, that was for us. And he's like, fuck yeah, we did it, boys.
This dude is an asshole, but he's not an idiot. He's a gaslighter.
Flying back to America, which would be an unimaginable act and an invasion of El Salvador's sovereignty. So he appealed to
sovereignty.
And it said clearly, no district
Fuck
court
this guy,
can
dude.
compel the president to exercise his Article 2 foreign powers in any way whatsoever. DOJ called me after that Supreme Court ruling, and they said, this is amazing. We won this case 9-0. We are in excellent standing here. So this has been portrayed wrong for 72 hours in the media.
Completely
they said
wrong.
The most a court could ever compel you to do would be to facilitate return, which would basically mean if El Salvador...
The Supreme Court was so in favor of bringing him back, they even filed a motion over the weekend. They don't typically like get down on the weekends.
Easter weekend?
Saturday. Like
damn.
In the literally in the middle of the night, and said you have to put a complete pause on deporting people.
There you go. That was the first result. It's every result on Google.
We won. This is incredible. 9-0. And my whole point on this is do the right thing legally. Quit fucking saying like, because this is such a bigger conversation. But
take a breath.
But think about all the people that only get their news from hearing Stephen Miller talk about it on
I was
Fox.
just going to say that. Like, if you didn't do the research that you did, or even that Adam did, or whatever, if you just click it on and you listen to whatever he tells you, and we've talked about this before, Fox News, CNN, it doesn't matter. But if you only hear that one side of that echo chamber, like, you are so fucked.
Yeah, and it's all over X too. Like, you cannot I literally tried to reason with these people. Like, you don't understand what this means for the rule of law in this country going forward. And the best answer you'll get is, well, Biden ignored it too. They did it.
FAFO. Fuck around and find out.
At what point do we just say, like, no, this is fucked. Like, we have to, you want to be the righteous party, you want to have high moral standing, do the right thing. Do it now. Anyway, we'll keep playing this fucking guy.
Salvador voluntarily sends him back, we wouldn't block him at the airport. We would put him back into ICE detention.
True.
And then he would be deported either back to El Salvador or somewhere else. The Supreme Court said that is
but
the
they will
most the
deport him
government
again.
can be expected to do. So we won the case handily. The misreporting on this has been atrocious.
Okay,
Secondly,
I appreciate
he was
the
not, no, Bill's
clarification.
important.
That's the case.
He was not mistakenly sent to
Yes, he
El
was.
Salvador.
So do you still
He's
believe
an illegal
he is a
alien
member of
from
MS?
El Salvador. Hold on, this is important. In 2019, he was ordered deported. He has a final removal order from the United States. These are things that no one disputes. Where is he from? El Salvador. Where is he a resident and citizen of? El Salvador. Is he here illegally? Yes. Does he have a deportation order? Yes.
All those parts are correct.
A DOJ lawyer who has since been relieved of duty, a saboteur, a Democrat,
a saboteur and a Democrat. So one guy did, in the court order, they were asking him, like, hey, why did he get deported to El Salvador? This is the one place you can't send him. He said it was a clerical error. He said, I'm trying to get further. So
it was a mistake that they sent him.
Yes.
Not the deportation, but there.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm even arguing to anybody is that he can't go there. He can't go there. Like, I know this is semantics and it's bullshit, but guess what? It's the fucking law. When these fucking district courts and then the Supreme Court say this is what needs to be followed, if you don't follow it, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What, I mean, really, what?
Why do we have laws in place?
What is the point, right? Because honestly, if you can ignore the Supreme Court on this, you can ignore them on anything.
Sure.
And I feel like all these people that are just blindly being led along by people like Stephen Miller and all these right-wing influencers who are quite literally paid.
Well, and why would you
RNC
question? Why would you
things.
question somebody who's in the position that he's in, giving you that information? Like,
At this point, you have to question everything. And
we know that.
I'm not saying the left.
I'm
doesn't
saying
do-
the average Joe, general public watching that. Why would you look at that guy in his title and his position and go, "Oh, I gotta question that guy"?
Man.
He's saying they won 9-0. Why would on TV? Why would he fucking lie about it?
Because that's where we're
the
at.
problem, dude, is for the last 4 years, the other side of the aisle was blindly, and we're sitting here going, are you guys paying attention to what they're fucking saying? But the problem is now that the right side's in control, it's
the same thing, different
I feel like
party.
the right has split in half. There's half of the people on the right who will just blindly follow whatever they're fucking told and whatever they see on TV, and then the other half are still the critical thinkers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't know. I was telling Steve the other day, I don't know what's real anymore. Like, I don't know what the standard of proof is going to be at this point, because
you have to
get guys like this on the news lying through their fucking teeth.
I had to, because I watched a few different things. I read a couple things. I'm like, I'm just going to the source. I had to go to the Supreme Court's actual ruling and read it. Like, I'm going to read this for myself. I read it. I thought I knew what it meant. I went to ChatGPT. I said, okay, can you interpret this for me? Am I getting this right? So we went through the whole thing, like went through everything. It'll give you everything. The fact that you have to do that is insane.
Yeah.
Right. But that's where we're at. You have to do it. The guy that admitted they made a mistake, the saboteur, the Democrat, he's served under, I think, 3 different presidents. He's been there for 15 years. I even did like a search on that. Like, he is not giving any arguments, Democrat or Republican. Like, he's just there to serve the DOJ. It seems to be. And they fired him because he admitted a mistake. The saboteur, the Democrat. They fired him.
Wow.
Gone.
Make one mistake.
Gone.
Yeah.
Well, because that's kind of, I mean,
it's a big deal. I'm not saying it's not.
It's part of If he did make a mistake, whatever. Like, I don't know.
It's not a mistake because, like, if you're the national,
it's not a mistake. But
Secretary of Defense,
kind of like my opening line was, I feel like this is a fight for the fucking soul of America. Like, where does it stop?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee, and I told this to so many people on X, like, you're okay with it now. What do you think's going to happen when the next Democrat gets in?
Yeah.
And they invoke this Alien Enemies Act, right? MS-13 is now labeled a terrorist. Are you going to like who they label terrorists when the Democrats are in office?
Right.
Like all these people who are pro-MAGA, are you going to like when the Proud Boys
when
or
MAGAs
any of these
are,
J6 guys, are you going to like that they're labeled terrorists or any group that they deem to be terrorists? Because make no mistake, remember the Biden administration was going after domestic terrorists. They said that was one of their biggest things. The biggest threats to America is domestic terrorism. What would have stopped them from doing what Trump is doing now, invoking the Alien Enemies Act, labeling them terrorists, and shipping you off to El Salvador?
He just beat him to the punch. He just did it first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now do you think it's going to end if they don't do the right thing? I don't. It's just going to be this constant back and forth.
It's like anything. It just escalates.
Yes.
They go here, camera, they go here, and then they pull it back halfway, and they go, okay, here, we'll concede here. And it's still worse than it was, but it's not as bad. And the next time they go a little bit further and then pull it back. And so all it is just these steps.
The goalpost is constantly moving, and like it's moving in the wrong direction.
Well, they're labeling the people who are attacking the Tesla dealerships. They're getting labeled as
terrorists,
domestic terrorism right now, which it's vandalism and it's property destruction and it's. But like
you're a felon.
Terrorism?
Terrorism.
Isn't the definition of terrorism something political violence to motivate political action? There's a real definition.
It does fit that though.
And I think if you want to go by that definition, sure, it fits it. Like okay,
but like
But it happened twice.
Setting cars on fire.
It happened twice.
Domestic terrorists?
You know how many people set cars on fire in South Phoenix and Maryville every fucking day?
But hold on. But hold on. BLM protesters are domestic terrorists.
Hold on. The definition of terrorism is the unlawful use or threat of violence, often against civilians, to instill fear and coerce governments or societies into taking actions or making concessions. Because
doesn't say corporations,
but because Tesla specific, look at how many private citizens are Tesla owners and their shit's getting attacked because it's a Tesla and the destruction to the Tesla dealership. So by letter of what terrorism is, that can be labeled a domestic terrorist.
Cool. Terrorist, right?
Yeah.
So now let me find this fucking video. So let's say they're terrorists now too. Trump's new thing, because he likes the way this thing is going in El Salvador so well with being able to ship these people
Homegrowns?
Homegrowns.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the homegrowns.
Jesus.
Let's talk about the fucking homegrowns. Hot fucking mic here. How did that fucking happen? What is going on here? Oh, my bad.
Oh. Homegrowns.
I said, homegrowns are next. The homegrowns. You got to build about 5 more places. Yeah, we've got space. All right.
We've got space.
Just keep sending the money.
Somebody fucking looked at Bukele like, oh, at least he's wearing a suit. Like, what do you mean, Juan Wick over there?
Yeah, Juan Wick.
His fucking, almost fucking died. Juan Wick
awesome,
in his all-black suit.
That's awesome.
So, fuck it, doesn't matter. But yeah, you get the gist of it. He now wants to send. Like, it goes on a little bit, and they ask him for, because that was a hot mic from an El Salvador Instagram thing. Like, he came with the El Salvadorian fucking troop.
Attaché
fucking. And anyway, so they asked, like, the reporters clarified, like, hey, we heard that. So, like, let's talk about this. And he clarified, like, yeah, I'd like to send them there, the homegrowns. Now, this is where we get back into death penalty shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're fucking scumbags, right? Like, a lot of people in prison are scumbags. And maybe at its fucking root core, like, we don't care if they're in El Salvador. And I personally don't care, other than I really don't like the fact that we're going to send American citizens to a foreign jail.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking insane. Am I wrong? Am I crazy?
No, and I think the implication of that, like, and like you said, bigger picture and where that leads.
Push back on me in this.
What next? No, that's crazy. Like, the thought of, again, and it's such a fine line between illegal alien and quote unquote homegrown. But if you're a U.S. citizen and you get arrested, people were scared to go to Mexico because they didn't want to go to jail in Mexico. You would much rather get arrested for some shit in the U.S. because you went to jail in the U.S.
You want to go to CCOT?
We're going to start sending American citizens to jail in other countries?
Look at these. I'm sure you've seen them, but for anybody that
the
hasn't.
ones stacked outside?
Yes.
Yes.
Like fucking sardines in here.
Or the fact that
Just any of them.
The fact that nobody. Okay, here I saw something that
Christ Almighty! Look at that picture.
Somebody basically broke down like this. This is like one of the most packed prisons per capita. Like there's no space. How do they keep having room for more inmates? Well, it's because motherfuckers are dying or being killed, and they're getting rid of the bodies. Like they don't just all of a sudden have vacancy in this fucking jail they're packed with sardines.
They're now saying they're building more. They've got like X amount of acres of building more. And to maybe take our homegrown prisoners, because again, arguing on X with people, they're on board with that shit. Fuck those criminals. I don't want them in our country. And technically, there are laws in the Constitution that say you cannot send, like there's more eloquently put, but you can't send Americans to foreign prisons. Like part of the thing is like, you stay here. You're an American. I know you fucked up, but you're an American, right? You have rights. So one of the things they're saying they're going to do is in this little carve out where they're making these prisons, we're going to make that American territory. So we're not sending them to foreign places.
My next question is, what's the loophole? Because I guarantee
there it is.
So that's going to be our 51st state, the prison state,
just this area
of El Salvador.
This area here.
Think about again. This is where I said this goes back to the death.
Are there minerals there?
There's oil.
The art of the deal.
I haven't seen the minerals.
The prisons are going to be built where there's oil, and we're going to take that land as U.S. land. That's the eagle that looks up.
Steve, don't give these people.
I'm fucking calling it, dude.
Please, because people are going to say that and run with it. Art of the
Hell
deal.
yeah.
Art of the deal.
No. Oh, no.
Get them to build
We
prisons.
just became
and we take their
oil
minerals.
independent. You're
and
welcome.
then get those prisoners to work on the fucking.
On the rigs.
God.
Okay.
Genius.
You got me.
5D
Genius.
chess.
I wish I would have got the fucking.
Like 13D.
I
chess.
literally heard a woman on Fox say, Trump's playing 4D chess.
Yeah, it's
Like,
5D.
There's only 4 dimensions. Am I wrong?
No,
Oh, no, there's
at least
11.
No, I mean actual dimensions. Space, time, all that
There's
shit.
11.
There's 11 dimensions.
11.
What? I need to know that the other ones are.
This says 4D, but
Yeah. There's 4
how can
dimensions.
there be 4D if Trump's already in the 11th one? You know what I mean?
Well, he is.
11D.
Well, he's a time traveler. We've discussed that. So I don't know, man. This is the thing I've been on this past week is like I think this is a very, very bad road our country's taking, and it seems like a lot of people are just on board.
I just
Without
want,
seeing the big picture.
Scary, dude.
at least according to string theory, there's at least 10 dimensions in the
Okay.
universe.
So Trump could be playing 10-dimensional chess throughout the multiverse.
Dude.
He's that smart.
I'm very good at chess. I
So
used to play chess a lot when I was a kid.
so I'll wrap on that. I just want people to think about that and quit. Like
That's pretty crazy, dude.
it is. I'm wrong. I keep looking for reasons why I might be wrong, and when I just go back to what this country is and what it stands for, our rules, our laws, like I
think
think
that's
I'm
been
wrong.
so twisted and so perverted over the last, I don't know, 50 years that people care less and less and less about the founding and the origination.
I
And
know.
we've been led to believe that our history is so terrible and we have to tear it all down and we can't learn from it. We can't know about it. Can't talk about it
that's
because
what
it
the
hurts.
left says.
Well, but I'm saying but both sides have skewed so much and perverted so much that now we're in this state of being where it's like you listen to somebody who on the news says this is the truth, this is what happened, and it's completely 100% a lie, and it's the other side. And I would say, fuck, Johnny, I would say 50% of our population won't even question that.
No,
At
they
least.
won't.
At least. And that's
At least.
scary, dude. And on both sides, right? It's the same people watching CNN. There's at least 50%, if not more, of the Democratic Party, especially now that they're not in power. Everything that the right does is under scrutiny, just like when Biden was in office, it was all under scrutiny from the right. Everybody will look at that and go, these guys are all full of shit. How do they not see? How do they not wake up and see that this is all bullshit?
I think the bigger question here too is like, so that's one case, right? But like, how long has this been going on? What have we not caught?
It just
You know what I
escalates
mean? Like, how long have they been just trying to feed narratives through whatever media source, you know what I mean? And influencing public opinion. I think it's been going on for a lot longer than we're willing to.
Well, now you can't even trust independent journalists and all these people because they're getting paid by fucking other countries to sell propaganda.
Well, when you look on X, like these journalists, they're not journalists. A journalist would be somebody that actually goes out and interviews people,
gets data,
facts.
tells both sides of the story.
What these people are on X are influencers, and Adam hit the nail on the head last week when he said it's in the title. They are influencers. They are paid or want to be
to
paid
sway you one way or another.
To sway you one way or the other. So these people are not journalists. There are a lot of actual good independent journalists out there. People just don't like what they have to say.
Yeah.
So I'm marking it right now at 12:10. on April 21st, dying empire.
Mm.
What's happening right now is not good for the republic.
You mean the democracy? Because we're no longer a republic. We're a democracy.
No, we're a republic.
We're a sacred democracy at that.
Sacred democracy.
You know what we need behind the Eagle Stinger with the fireworks is a fucking oil fountain just shooting.
Oh, minerals just sparkling in the background.
Dude. Get them minerals.
Yeah.
Oh no, we need to get Lindsey Graham saying minerals and fucking gems.
Gotta get all them minerals.
That's crazy, dude.
So
Yeah, I just saw the photos of obviously what was going on with the her saying he's such a good guy. I didn't know anything about him not technically having been affiliated or arrested or prior arrest information or anything related to gang stuff.
Don't even care about that.
That's crazy.
I truly don't care about that. I care about that we have courts that have said this is what needs to happen, and they're saying no.
Yeah.
Who's going to stop me? That's
Yeah.
a problem. I don't think I'm crazy for saying that's a problem. You can fucking roast me all you want. Like this video is going to get clipped. People are going to talk shit. They're going to say, fuck him. I don't want him in this country. You can go there. You can go. Like, they're going to say all that shit. This isn't about him.
I hate to say this. I still stick to my guns of like why Trump won though. Like people knew what they were getting with Kamala. People were taking a chance on Trump, and now, like I said last
You mean the
week-
first time?
No, like just now.
Oh, people knew what they were getting this time
You know
too.
what I mean? But like my point, I guess, is what I'm trying to say is if you're on the other side, now's not the time to gloat and say I told you so.
I think
like,
there were more independents that took a chance.
we all need to kind of like get together and be like, hey, no, we voted for the guy, but we didn't vote for what's happening right now, and we all need to kind of come together and figure that out.
I
as a
think the
group.
problem
I
is
agree.
people were voting for Trump again because they wanted more of the same of last time. Is he a buffoon? Does he say some dumb shit? Is he busy tweeting a bunch? Yes. Does he rub people the wrong way? Yes. But he got shit done. I think people, especially more independents that were taking a chance, were kind of hoping for that same thing.
Yeah.
And what they're getting is a more extreme version of round one. And people are like, holy shit, like I knew what I was getting, but I wasn't voting for this. Like, this is fucking crazy.
And that's like the trending, I don't want to call it a hashtag, but the trending saying on X is, I voted for this.
Yeah.
No matter how crazy it sounds, it's like, yeah, I voted for this.
So like
I've
middle of the
seen
road
that.
people
I've
didn't
seen
vote for
people,
that, dude. Middle of the road guys like us, like we didn't vote for that shit. Like
It's just extremism,
What are
and
you
nobody wants to accept that it's extremism when it's their group or it's about them, and they want to pretend like it's not.
So I, just like you two, I'll say this again for the last time. I voted for him. I voted for stronger borders. I voted to remove illegal aliens from this country. But everything I just said for the last half hour.
But lawfully.
But just do that. That was my whole problem with Doge. Do it the right way.
Yeah.
Things can't be challenged. You can actually have a productive presidency.
And there's something entertaining about, I mean, at face value, about the bull in the china shop etiquette.
Sure.
There's something, especially as an American, our borders have been shit for the last X amount of years. We've been getting shit on. Like all these things you're told that we've been force-fed DEI. Like there's a population, a subset, and there is something in us that goes, hey man, I'm fucking tired of it. Like, let's put our foot down, slam our fist on the table, and say no fucking more. We're done. We're good.
And that part is the borders are locked.
Well,
and I'm happy as shit.
And so I think you have these people who are still riding that emotion, going, "Yep, this is what you get. I put my foot down. No
fuck
fucking
around
more."
and find out.
Yeah. So that's
the fuck around and find out attitude of America right now is fucking gnarly. It's just next level shit. Like, and it goes for everything. They don't care. Fuck around and find out. Like, oh my god. Oh my god, our country's fucking cooked.
We're cooked, bro. We're cooked.
But good news. Good news.
I love good news.
Trump just had his physical.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's fit.
Was it the same doc that did Biden's? Can we compare?
He's fully fit. Trump's fully fit for duty. So, weighs in 6'3".
Yeah.
215 pounds.
15?
215.
I thought it was 250 or whatever.
I'd say 275.
215? No fucking
Dude,
way.
that's fucking pencil whip hard, dude.
No way.
You guys want to know who else is 6'3", 215?
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth.
Well, it's
Not a
distributed
fucking chance.
differently.
He's not 6'3".
He keeps the weight in different
He keeps it mostly in, man,
You know?
6'3",
Not a fucking
215.
chance, dude.
Adam, real quick.
Muscle weighs more than fat though, and he might be really soft. He might not be 250.
Adam, type into the YouTubes. Type in Trump brags about cognitive
Hemsworth
tests.
6'3".
And he took 6'3", 215.
They
Hemsworth,
said 250, and somebody wrote down 215 because that's what they heard.
no. They stand by it. And not only that, you talk about the gaslighting all over X, like, well, I can see that. No, you can't. You don't know. No.
Yes. No, you cannot.
Steve, what are your stats?
I'm almost 6'5", roughly 6'5", and I'm about 250.
Okay. Completely jacked. What would you say your body fat is? 10?
Yeah, I mean, 10, 11.
10% body fat.
I'd like to be lower.
6'5", 250. But Trump's 6'3", 215.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Do you find one out?
I don't know if I can get the sound to play. I don't think we ever worked that.
Here. Oh, you're right. It doesn't have the Roadcaster on it. God damn it. Anyway.
But I can give you the captions. And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam.
I passed.
And I got the highest mark.
Highest mark
in history.
And one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of, that was the highest mark. I hope you're happy with that. Although they haven't been bugging me too much to take a cognitive, but I did do my physical and it was released. I hope you're all happy with it. I noticed there's no question, so probably you are. But the cognitive, they said to me, sir, would you like to take a cognitive test?" Hold on, the next caption's running.
Oh,
I
my
said,
God.
"Did Biden take one?"
No. Did Obama take
No.
one? No.
"Did anyone take one?" "No."
Okay, I'll do
Not
it.
too many people took them. I said, "What? What? You get."
Anyway,
the
that's the
picture.
gist of it. Perfect score. When he was on Air Force One talking about that was in the Oval Office, but he's on Air Force One talking about it. And he says, "I challenge anybody to take it, see if they can get a better score because I got perfect."
Dude, there's part of me that wishes we could go back to like the medieval time where like the one in charge was the one up front leading the charge, leading the war, holding the banner. Like,
Let's go.
why don't you go fucking let's go fisticuffs to see who's gonna run our country?
Well, judging by 6'3", 215, you'd be in for a fight.
Yeah,
Because I think DK Metcalf is also 6'3", 215.
holy shit!
But when I saw the Chris Hemsworth, I'm like, oh my God, he's Thor.
dude,
Trump is Thor. Oh, fucking Zeus. Unbelievable, man. So that is good news. Our president is
it's jacked.
physically and mentally fit. So we can go into the rundown here. I understand our rundown stinger is a little broken. The rundown.
The rundown.
So we've got right here.
I think DK's 235, by the way.
Oh, okay.
6'4", 235.
20 pounds off.
Yeah.
But jacked.
Yeah,
Jacked. 6'3", 244.
6'4", 235.
Okay. So right now, Trump is a little pissed off that the Fed has not brought down interest rates, and he wants Jerome Powell out. Wants him gone.
Who's that old dude?
Jerome Powell, head of the Fed.
Oh,
Trump head of the Fed. Trump wants to fire him. Bad news, he can't. Although, who knows? Like, they might have him fucking.
We just don't need him pissing off the dude that's adjusting rates. Like, oh, really? Well, fuck you.
So this is going to be my like fucking armchair interest rate tariff inflation take on this. We raise interest rates to fight off inflation, right?
Allegedly,
because like when you raise interest rates, it gets harder for businesses to borrow money, for individuals to borrow money. So, okay, once you can't afford, money gets a little more expensive. You can't afford to borrow. You can't afford to spend. So what happens? Demand goes down, right? Demand goes down. Prices kind of like level off, right? And then all of a sudden inflation starts to come down. Where if you lower rates, and all of a sudden people can start borrowing.
everybody's borrowing and buying.
Like that bowl in the china shop. And then all of a sudden demand goes through the roof. And what happens? Prices go through the roof. Well, prices are already going through the roof with tariffs, or they will because we have a 90-day pause. Some things have gone up. Some things will continue to go up. But while prices are going up from tariffs, he wants to bring interest rates down, making it to where people are going to start spending more money that they don't have. Like, I don't get.
We'll just print off more.
Which is what they will do.
Which will drive inflation up.
Which is what we did during COVID. He did it. I'm not going to fucking, like, it was like however many trillions of dollars he flooded into the economy during COVID. I won't even knock him for that. That was COVID, the fucking once in a generation thing. Nobody knew what to do, right? He tried to keep the country afloat. I'll give him that. But it fucking kicked in inflation.
Yeah.
Like, you can say it's Biden all you want, but it was a lot to do with that.
Sure.
And that's fine. Like, but
because he would deflect and say, well, I was handed this from Obama.
Wrong.
I inherited this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there would be a deflection too.
And that's the way it goes.
Right.
But at some point, it's okay to say, yeah, I did what I had to do to keep the country afloat. And I think that's what he did. I think he did a good job of it. And honestly, when it came to the economy, fucking unpopular take, I think Biden did a decent job of fighting off inflation and getting things squared away. Everything was relatively back to normal, right? Our economy was fucking.
No, isn't it that when prices went on everything went up?
Now.
Oh,
Like-
now.
Like,
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
say 2 months ago, everything was back to normal. Fucking Wall Street fucking through the roof, Dow Jones up, everything is going fine. And then we kick in the tariffs. Like, okay, we've talked about that before, but I just don't get the you're not bringing interest rates down. I want you out.
I saw an interesting take, and I apologize on the video. This is from a different user. And I tried finding the clean version so I could put it on there where it was by itself.
Is there nudity?
No. I mean, like just solo, like by itself.
Gotcha.
This is somebody's reaction to this, but I thought this was interesting. I wanted to play it for you
Okay.
if you hadn't seen it, but it's a Chinese person, and they're explaining why we need a revolution and not tariffs. I wanted to see what your take on this was.
Fuck.
They rob you blind and you thank them for it.
Check.
That's a tragedy. That's a scam.
Check.
That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy.
That tracks.
Not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers.
Yep.
That tracks.
In the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crashed your working class.
Check.
And told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodged tax, and poured billions into endless wars. And you get stagnated wages, crippling healthcare costs.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. God damn it, he's right. Turn it off.
Yeah, so I was watching that and
Get
I was
his
like,
commie face off my fucking screen.
the only comeback I had was, oh yeah, well, your country's communist. So
China.
like I was listening to that going, God damn. Like he's not
Ruben comments and
wrong.
he goes, Trump, don't trust a China. China is asshole.
Asshole.
Are you
That's in the live chat. I read it from the live chat.
Asshole.
get in the live chat, everybody. Get in there. Dude.
Yeah, but I was watching that and I was like, God damn, dude.
He's fucking
He's
right.
not wrong.
It doesn't help that I just watched a little mini documentary, it was like 40 minutes long, specifically about Xi, but then I got into the Chinese economy under him.
Yeah.
And everything that dude was just saying, like, that's what happened. It's accurate.
They took all that and reinvested it into their country. Their people built themselves up.
I have a different take.
All right, let's hear it.
My thought was, who's this motherfucker trying to get me to go against is this propaganda too?
Well, and
Well, of
that's,
course it
and
is.
that's
Like, of course it is.
we've talked about that,
Are
right?
you
And so
trying to
that's
get me
why
to start some shit. Is that
that's
what
why I
this
had that in the
is right
title.
here?
I was like, is this real or is this
You know what I mean?
propaganda? I mean, it's
But yes, propaganda. Everything we see, there's a lot of it on TikTok, obviously. Which one of our TikTok posts, you specifically were talking about China?
yeah.
1 view.
Hell yeah.
One.
Throttled.
One.
No shit.
Because we were talking
Suck
about
it.
China. It wasn't even anything bad.
Wow.
But anyway, so yeah, we've seen all their AI, China, the glory of
Yeah.
China, the buildings, the fire, everything. And yeah, there is propaganda. But why does that hit hard?
Because it feels, because it's
It's not
true.
fucking wrong,
Because
bro.
it feels true.
But not only that, so even if that is propaganda, right? And we're gonna look at that and go, oh, that's Chinese propaganda. We've seen other videos where that's Chinese propaganda.
It is, but.
But you also have to, if that's real, you also have to be open to the fact that we're fed propaganda here to buy into other shit. Like you can't just go, oh, that's propaganda, that's not real. You got to be able to say, oh, well, sometimes we're fed some bullshit too that we all jump on and go, yeah, we're great.
Somebody brought up the point, I think it was Sagar and Jetty on Breaking Points. He brought up they were talking about Trump like getting, and he's pretty right wing. So when he was talking about these authoritarian leanings that Trump is having, he's a Trump supporter, again, very right wing. They're talking about all this negative shit that Trump's doing if we're leaning towards authority. Then he started talking about China and how everything's going, great over there. Economy's booming. They're building the roads. They're building everything, infrastructure. He's like, if we're leaning towards authoritarianism anyway, fucking give me China. Like we're getting all of
if that's what we're gonna be anyway.
Well, he said we're getting all of the authoritarian shit, but none of the good shit. Like at least
And they already have their systems in place. Like they already know what they're doing.
He's like, at least in China, things are flourishing for their people. Yes, it's authoritarian, but it's leaning that way here anyway. But we're not getting any of the good shit that comes along with it. You're fucking bankrupting our country. You're like, dude, it's a fucking mess. And we're not getting the good China shit. I'm not saying I want to be China.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
But he's right. He's right. So when you talk about revolution, schmevolution, let's not say that out loud too loud.
Yeah, but let's be real here though. Like, is there anything we can do from a citizenry standpoint to like effectively stage a revolution? Like we're so fucked. Like even Biden was like, oh, if you want to go against, you better have an F-16 or whatever. Like there's no way we have guns and the right to be right, all that, but like there's no fucking way.
So
there's just no way.
When people think I'm a fucking idiot, softy, snowflake, leftist, liberal for saying we need to fucking pump the brakes on this immigration thing or the Garcia case, it's because that little step leads to your neighborhood getting bombed by an F-35 in 100 years.
Right.
Maybe not an F-35, whatever they got then, that alien tech.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying. Yeah. This is how it starts with those baby steps. When you say, Adam, what can we do? You stand up when it's a little fucking thing like this, where you see the slippery slope and say, hey, we're not going to step onto it. That's what you do. You fight now. You voice your opinion now instead of like, fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
Fucking genius take, by the way.
Until 20 years from now, you look around and go, how the fuck did we get here?
Exactly. Yeah. Stand the fuck up, people. For fuck's sake. I don't even want to talk about anything else.
All right. That's it. We're out of here. Johnny's done.
We
fuck it.
We'll burn through.
All right.
So fucking, we got, why is this not playing? So we got more strikes on Yemen. We strike one of their oil ports. So we're quietly starting a
war,
chipping away, bombing. This killed like 70 people, injured another 150, whatever. They're disrupting our shipping ports. Okay, cool. Then you go to this 6. We're starting to talk about a ground war in Yemen because we have been bombing them since 2009 heavily.
It's too much rubble for them to hide under, so now we got to go in on foot.
We've been bombing them. And then in Saudi Arabia, we supported them bombing them. They bombed the living hell out of them.
God,
and nothing has changed. The Houthis are there, stronger than ever. Why? Because they're the fuck you people, all right? I'm not championing the Houthis, but they obviously don't give a fuck that we're bombing them. So what can you do outside of bombing? You invade. And you go fucking door to door like we did in Baghdad and start kicking people out like you did in Fallujah, like we did in Ramadi. And then next thing you know, 20-something thousand Americans are dead. And millions of fucking
that puts
Yemenis.
all of our soldiers in harm's way face first.
Hey, but at least the Houthis aren't firing rockets at Israel anymore. I mean, at least we got that going, right?
Yeah.
Got to protect our greatest ally, bro.
Got to protect our greatest ally. And that's the only reason they are doing this in their words, in the Houthis' words, is because of our support for Israel and Gaza.
I didn't link it. I wish I would have. I didn't know we were going to talk about this, but there was I don't know if it was an interview, like who it was through or who it was with, but there was an interview where this guy was basically gave a real quick breakdown on the history of Israel. And he was like, hey, can we just stop? Maybe Israel can stop on their quest for global domination or whatever. He's like, they were given this land back in whenever, and then they kept making the push, and the Palestinians didn't have a choice in it. And, they have this Arab peace deal that they've reissued multiple times to the people of Israel, and Iran was on board, and they had all these people saying, like, this is where we're at. We will reach an agreement, and Israel keeps shitting all over it, going, nope, we're just going to keep on plugging away. We're going to keep going. It's like, God damn, dude, how many times do you have to extend the olive branch saying, hey, let's stop over the last 60 years?
It's the same reason why Putin won't get on board with the ceasefire right now. It's like, why would I? I'm getting what I want.
Yeah.
And who's going to stop me?
Dude, 100%.
So that's what Israel's
100%.
like. I'm getting everything I want, and no one's going to stop me.
Right.
Like, okay, stop me.
And I have Big Brother's support over here.
That's
and I'm getting money, and why would I?
Well, which kind of brings me to my next fucking thing right now, which is this right here of
Despot.
China helping the Houthis target attacks.
Oh,
China.
man.
So who's helping Israel? United
God.
States. So exactly. China denies it.
So it's just us versus China.
So I'll read
more tariffs.
I'll read off the notes I took here. So basically, there's allegations against a company in China, Changguang Satellite Tech.
Common spelling, of course.
Common spelling, yeah. The U.S. State Department's accused China's Guangguang Satellite Technology Company Limited of providing satellite imagery to Iran-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. This intelligence is allegedly used to target U.S. warships, international vessels in the Red Sea. So China denies it, but the State Department says we have proof. So again, so we got Big Brother back in Israel. Now you got Big Brother.
Step brother back in
the other.
What are you doing, step bro?
Yeah.
So if they're backing the Houthis, and we say the Houthis are backed by Iran, in turn, that means China's backing Iran. Do we really want to fucking do this? Do we really want to do it?
You want to go, bro?
You want to go, bro?
You really want to go? Yeah.
Dude.
It's just dumb,
Just
man.
when you think things can get worse, like over here we have constitutional crisis, legitimate. This isn't fucking being some.
But that's specific to our country. Like, let's focus on that shit.
No, why would we do that?
I don't know.
We got bigger fish to fry. Dude, I want to drop bombs.
I want to drive a Range Rover, bro.
I want nothing more than to fucking disintegrate some Arabs. I want fucking thermal imaging of a C-130 raining down terror on these. I want to see the bits flying apart like we did back in the aughts. Man, that's what I want. I don't want our country to be stable at all. I want carnage, motherfucker.
Turmoil.
Bring it. Fucking bring it.
Sarcasm for you fucks who are listening to this are just going to start flagging.
My only wish is that I could re-enlist and go get some myself.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
You go, I go.
Fuck Adam.
You go, we go.
We go.
Some sort of three-way forearm handshake. I don't know how that works.
Dutch rudder.
Dutch rudder. That's exactly what that is. So, all right, man.
All right.
I been a little fired up. This fucking thing.
Ride it. Ride the lightning, dude.
No, let's fucking keep riding the lightning, right? Let's go to this humdinger here, which, I mean, where am I? I don't even know where I'm playing yet. A9.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So basically, Doge started off, we're cutting $2 trillion, right? We're cutting $2 trillion. We're going to get this ship right.
Wait, what? Sorry, I'm reading.
This reminds me of the fucking gif from Chum Lee of fucking Pawn Stars.
Best I can do.
Best I can do is 150 billion. Best I can do is 150 trillion. And they're like, oh, yeah, great. I mean,
but isn't he out of his post now? Isn't his 90 days up?
If it isn't, well, this is at a cabinet meeting, so he's still addressing the cabinet there. So I assume, no.
Isn't he like about done?
Should be. But they can renew that at any time.
Maybe he didn't get to see his entire plan through fruition. So he's like, okay, it's only 150 billion. If you guys keep me on,
maybe
we'll hit that 2 trillion mark.
I'm wondering if he wants to step back now too, because he saw like his public image take a hit and his stock take a hit, even though it's rebounded quite a bit.
Yeah.
But he's like, you know what? It was better when I just faded into the background. Just do the Soros thing. Just funnel the money.
Yeah.
You don't see George Soros out there.
Let everybody ask questions and assume.
You don't see him with Javier Milei and the chainsaw.
Oh, God. Yes. Taking it into the fucking public buildings and shit. Just
the way he was on that stage when Milei gave him the chainsaw and what he, chainsaw, like in his fucking voice. There was some spectrum. There was some spectrum there. Chainsaw. It reminded me of Sloth.
Oh, yeah.
Chainsaw! Guys! The chainsaw! Guys, chainsaw! Dude, I don't know, man. I'm so, like, I'm annoyed. But one thing I did see, Charlie Kirk's a bit of a homer, right?
Yeah.
When it comes to Trump and everything he's doing, right? And he's a pretty big homer for Israel as well. There was the ambassador to Israel that made some comments like, because we're cracking down on free speech towards Israel. You can't criticize those motherfuckers. Charlie Kirk, of all people.
Because you're talking about arresting people like Tucker, Candace.
Dude, they're going hard on like, you can talk about, you can be as racist as you want, just not against Israel.
Right.
Not that kind of racist. Right. So Charlie Kirk, this is one of my fucking Star Wars things here, so we're going to have to read along. But Charlie Kirk, because it's kind of long.
In a world.
So no non-Jewish person my age has a longer or clearer record of support for Israel, Israeli sympathy with the Jewish people, or opposition to anti-Semitism than I do. I regularly refer to anti-Semitism as a lie from the pit of hell because it is. But I have to disagree with Ambassador Friedman here. The First Amendment and or our strict freedom of speech is one of America's greatest rights and sets us apart from every other country in the world. One of the central promises of Trump's 2024 campaign was to restore and protect American freedom of speech. 5 years ago, our elites tried to destroy free speech. Hey, he's bringing it back.
Yep.
Like, remember when they did that? Let's not do that. 5 years ago, our elites tried to destroy free speech in America in order to stop racism. Immediately and predictably, stopping racism became a justification for wrecking our cities and wrecking the lives of people who did nothing wrong. Simultaneously, in the name of stopping transphobia, they tried to make it impossible to dissent against the mutilation of children or radical gender propaganda in schools. The criminal witch hunts against President Trump by Fani Willis and Jack Smith both tried to criminalize President Trump's speech, indicting him for making tweets or delivering speeches. Racism and anti-Semitism are both evil and must be opposed, but a government organized around jailing, impoverishing, or silencing people based on racism is what our enemies wanted. We should not repeat their mistakes just because some Kiev-wearing communists are protesting our campuses. If you don't like a person's opinion, that doesn't mean they're an anti-Semite. But once anti-Semitism becomes valid grounds to censor or even imprison somebody, there will be frantic efforts to label all kinds of speech as anti-Semitic. There's a little bit more, but you get the gist.
Yeah, which has been going that way for a while now.
I was pretty surprised to see him say that, given that he is a Homer Trump and a bit of a Zionist. That's the take. That's the reasonable thing, and that goes for the deportation, ignoring Supreme Court, and that goes for this not crackdown on free speech towards Israel.
Yeah.
That is the proper take. He's as right-wing as it gets. He's as conservative as it gets. That's the voice you should be following when it comes to this kind of shit.
Yeah.
Not all these random fucking lunatics on X or wherever the fuck you find them. That's the take.
I have reason to believe that half the shit, maybe even more than half the shit on X, isn't even like real fucking people at this point. They
Maybe.
probably got bot farms commenting just to fucking rile people up and piss you off. I guarantee you. Like, because remember when Elon bought X in the first place, there was this whole dispute about how many users
Bots,
were actually on.
Well, that's why they devalued it when he bought it. He's like, hey, this isn't worth X amount of billion.
Who's
It's only
to
worth
say he
this.
didn't buy it and then add his own
Bot
bots?
up.
Well, the guy that just talks shit about you with your hat backwards, he was probably a bot.
First of all,
Yeah, fuck that guy.
what is this?
Yeah,
19 fucking 87. I can't wear my hat backwards.
Fucking chooch.
I thought once Ken Griffey Jr. wore his hat backwards in a baseball game, we were allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Because that was a big thing. Suck my entire dick.
all of it.
I just have 2 comments for you. 1, eat a dick, and 2, thanks for watching.
That's what I say to trolls mostly on fucking
Yeah.
TikTok. Thanks for the support.
Yeah.
Like, what else can you say? Like,
Loser.
sorry, after 40 years.
Fucking
What did he say?
After 25,
He
you can't
said-
wear your hat
yeah.
backwards.
He said, and I
Tight.
quote, wearing a hat at, well, he probably said, let me do his voice. Hold on.
Well, wearing a hat backwards after the age of 25 is tight.
That's what he said.
All caps, tight.
Tight. Well, I'm just gonna
Eat my
go
ass,
sit on
bitch.
Instagram and scroll through
All of it.
Well,
Fuck you, dude.
Anyway,
I enjoy wearing my hat. Pussy.
Backwards.
pussy.
yeah. Fuck, dude.
I wear it forwards, but I wear it backwards a lot of times here so the light can hit my beautiful face and I can see you fine people. All right. I got more, but that's it. I'm fucking ending it. What do you got?
So my little rundown, one of the things that came across was, you remember Blue Origin?
Yes.
All female space crew.
How could I forget?
Looking like
all
the
the women
fucking
astronauts.
Fantastic Five or
Heroes.
6 or whatever the fuck they
out
were.
there doing
Heroes, all of them.
fireworks and
Katy
whatever.
Perry holding that flower, kissing the ground.
Yeah, that 13-minute flight was epic.
It was 11.
Sorry, 11.
So one of the things, there was a couple things. So conspiracy side of things,
Yes.
right? So there's people saying that this maybe wasn't as real or as whatever it was, you know, they were showing. But when they show that,
Do we have another moon landing?
just hear me out. When that pod hit the ground, it slammed
It
pretty
fucking went in there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
When you watch the video, but people started breaking down the video and like the smoke cloud hits before the fucking pod hits, the shrubs change in one scene compared to the other. Now it could be 2 different camera angles, but people just started kind of pointing out inconsistencies with how that thing hit. But also, highly pressurized hatch can only be opened with a special tool from
That's
outside.
the question I have. I saw
But they
that
show
too.
a clip when they're walking around looking at it, like the door cracks open from inside and they like rush over to shut it and they shut it. And then Bezos goes over with the tool to pry it open. So people were saying
have you
like,
seen that?
I did.
people are like, if it was that pressurized, they wouldn't be able to open it from the inside. It has to be open with whatever their latch tool is from the
Okay.
outside. But they show the video, they crack it open and then like people panic and then they shut it again.
Wouldn't you think there would be some sort of pressure relief thing?
I don't
And-
watch. So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
open it,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
but look, like, so it's already open, and then they walk over, and then he has to use the tool. He has to walk around.
Well,
and
maybe they
search.
started doing something. He's like, no, you got to close it. I got to do this from the outside.
I think they wanted to do a special intro. The buzz around the internet is that it was faked. It was staged.
Well, I could see them, like, I'll put all real conspiracies aside, but I'll say, like, if they wanted to stage this grand opening where Jeff Bezos went and opened it.
They would have done a lot better.
Well, no, I get it. I mean, I could see if he wanted to, like, hey, this
It's
is
me.
what I want
Yeah.
for my press thing is I welcome my girlfriend
Right.
or wife back to, I could see them wanting to stage that.
So the bigger thing around this was,
Were
one
they
of the
even
things-
in there?
Here's the landing, Steve.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
landing
watch
was rough.
this thing. Oh, just some of us girls hanging out. Fuck. Nobody was injured. You're telling me fragile ass Gail King didn't bust a fucking ankle in that thing? There's nothing gentle about that shit. That's why Katie kissed the ground, because she's like, thank fucking God.
So are they buckled in this thing and they have some shock absorbing seat? Damn, I'm having a hard time talking.
You having a stroke?
No, that's my third monster though.
But anyway,
I have another.
the bigger thing about this whole thing is why I brought it up was there was one of the passengers' name was Amanda Nguyen.
Okay.
And we had talked about her when I gave the list last week of all the passengers. She was the one that was like the Harvard grad, astrophysicist,
The
worked
Asian
for
one.
NASA, worked for
Big surprise.
dude. I am surprised they did not publicize her accolades more than that. Like she is fucking. So I'm gonna.
Well, when you got Katy Perry on, I mean,
I'll play this and kill the audio. So this is her, right? So she had dreams of being an astronaut.
And
She
got
was
raped.
R-worded. Yeah.
Oh, I can't say it.
I don't know if you can.
Well, there
You're
goes
like,
our show.
fuck.
Beeped it. So anyway, she ended up dropping everything to become a civil rights activist and a bioastronautics researcher. But dude, she's got some pretty amazing accolades. So she drafted a Sexual Assault Survivors' Rights Act, a bill that passed unanimously through the United States Congress. She's also been credited with kickstarting the movement to stop violence against Asian Americans. In recognition of her work, she was nominated in 2019 for the Nobel Peace Prize. She was named 2022 Time one of the women of the year for 2022. But you know they were all about Katy Perry.
Yeah,
and
all the
space.
people in that
But
capsule
dude,
you're going to highlight. Why not her?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. I was watching this
She's a boss.
video clip, and I'm like, God damn, she got none of the press that she deserved. And
She's a fucking
badass,
boss.
dude.
And Katy Perry sings some songs.
Yeah, so I saw that, and I was like, well, that's kind of a tragedy that she wasn't highlighted a little bit more.
I mean, if you're asking me which one I want to have sex with first, probably Katy Perry, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no to her.
Yeah, but if you're going to publicize somebody,
Publicize
her.
me having sex with. No?
that
Oh,
mixtape.
yeah.
The second thing that I had that I thought was pretty interesting was pull this up. New sport. I don't know if you've seen this, Johnny.
Probably not.
So
Is that a condom?
UCLA and
no.
USC this Friday, boys. Sperm racing competition.
So, is this a gay sport? No?
No.
No?
And the sperm goes down. 1v1.
Just a bunch of dudes watching seeds swim down a canal.
This is 100% real. It launches in 4 days on the 25th at the iconic Hollywood Palladium. Palladium? I'm not sure how you say it. It's the world's first sperm race.
Love
It will
this.
bring together 5,000 attendees for an unforgettable showdown between UCLA and USC.
Live streaming like you do F1.
Can't use stream in this, but yes, you're right. Sperm racing is redefining the future of reproductive health by turning it into a sport. On a microscopic racetrack, sperm motility will be tracked in real time, complete with live commentary, on-site betting, and all the energy of a major sporting
Let's see you
event.
compete with that, China.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes, you are.
That's the next thing is you blow your load right then and there, and like my champion goes against your champion.
Dude,
That's
it's going to be on
selective breeding,
OnlyFans. It's going to be the prequel
Yeah.
to the load to the race.
I have so many
Dinner and a
ideas for
movie.
this. This is great.
Yeah.
This is
so anyway,
great.
I'm going to tune in live.
Hey,
on the 25th.
scientists, hit me up. I truly have ideas.
Let's
for this.
start. Let's start taking just just bets without knowing.
FanDuel.
Their DraftKings is going to be in on this at some point. You going for UCLA or USC? Who you taking?
Oh man,
I hate both of them.
Yeah,
so
but
much.
you got to pick one.
I'm going UCLA.
I'm going USC Trojans.
Okay.
when does the race start?
Well, hey, they're capped,
No cap.
but a Trojan applies a cap.
No cap.
When I have questions. when does the race start? You know what I mean? Like, is the sperm already out and they have it kind of in some sort of stable?
So they
ready to
have-
go?
You start from completely
Is it
soft.
flaccid to
till you jerk off into the
completion
thing.
to race.
That's
I
the
don't
way I
have
would
the
do it.
details, but they
You know
have
what
a
I mean?
microscopic track. And my understanding is that they're going to take the dropper, drop it in,
Sure.
and then watch there.
But that's where the race starts.
gotta
The
start
race
there.
doesn't start from all right. Everybody like lay down and get comfy.
No, because there's too much user error between when I take your sample and put it in the maze. It's got to
I don't
start
like
once
how
you
you
hit the
said
maze.
that, like, when
No,
you
well,
take my
I
sample.
I think you should take your own sample, and that's part of the part of the deal.
You got to hurry up and go and then deliver.
You start,
dude.
you completely start soft.
There's going to be different legs of the bet. I'm sure that's going
Yeah.
to be part of
Who's the first to blow?
the parlay.
That's
Who's
what
the
I'm
first to
saying.
get their shit in the fucking?
You
in
guess
the
who's
channel?
first.
Yes,
Who? Okay.
Oh, dude,
there's
you
lots
could,
of
like,
legs to this.
Dude, we need to
Exactly.
start being bookies for this. Like,
Fireside betting, baby. Sperm races. Let's fucking do this.
anyway, sperm racing.
Fireside seed race. You heard it here first. Trademark.
Last thing I had that I was going to go over with you before we hit anything else is, have you? And this is just kind of random. I came across this on the internet. Do you know anything about BJ Penn?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him? Like,
He's going crazy right now.
dude.
Yeah.
I
So
don't
there's
know
a
what this is.
he
I love BJ Penn. He's one
all
of
of
my favorite fighters
his
of all time.
posts.
Oh,
I
he's
didn't.
fine.
I saw this one.
Lorraine Shin, my brothers GD Penn, Reagan Penn, and Kalani.
Wasn't that playing?
Mamazuka.
It is. Just wait for it.
Were all murdered. And this picture right here, I took it during the
Just wait for this.
Governor's campaign. My mom's anti-helix is falling off and in her ear. And you can see the 2 different kind of skins on the back of her neck that she's wearing some kind of makeup, a skin makeup. And then here's my brother. I thought his ears looked funny, so I go, let me see your ears. And then I looked and I saw his eye later, and then he has freckles on his ear. And none of us have freckles, not even my white dad doesn't even have freckles. So I want to ask the Hilo Police Department, what are you guys going to do?
So BJ Penn is under the impression that his entire family has been killed and replaced with clones.
What the fuck?
Like legitimate. There's multiple posts that he has, and everybody, excuse me, in the comments is like, dude, you need fucking help. Like this is not true. Your family is your family. He firmly believes that there are clones in place of his family, like legitimate. And they're like, dude, you need help. And obviously being, he's Hawaiian.
Take a lot of hits to the head.
A lot of Hawaiians are like, brother, please get help. Like, this is not healthy. But yeah, he is legit CTE. They say it's called capgras or capgras. GRAS is the actual terminology, the actual clinical name for what they think he's experiencing.
Yeah, dude. That's sad.
Or
his family's been replaced.
His whole family has been replaced by lizard people wearing masks.
But dude, it is sad. I read through tons and tons of posts. And like, obviously I know who BJ Penn is too, but reading through that stuff, I was like, oh my God, this is tragic.
That is bad. I love BJ Penn, man.
Okay, but like, what if he's right?
Terrifying.
You know what I mean?
Poor guy. Terrifying. Nobody believes him.
Nobody would believe him.
Why would they?
Why would you believe?
So it's a perfect crime because no one's gonna believe you.
100%.
Right.
But what's the end game?
They're
just aliens like here living as amongst us, blending in.
They always are.
What if he is? What if he's right?
Just saying.
And then this was the last one I had. This is a new sport called mass wrestling.
That dude is fucking yoked.
Don't be a bitch, John. Don't be bitch. Go. Hey.
What are they just tugging on some fucking?
So, dude, this is
It's
legit.
tug-of-war.
So it's a traditional strength sport that originated in Siberia. It's a one-on-one contest where 2 competitors sit opposite each other with their feet braced against a board and attempt to pull a short stick out of their opponent's hands or drag them over the board. Dude, it is violent, fast.
A certain type of lever is going to work. You have to have the right leg length and the right limb length in general.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Don't be bitch.
I think
Don't be bitch, John.
My shorter legs would do really well, but the fact that I have shorter arms would not work as well. I think I need the longer arms and the shorter legs.
The gorilla arms.
Oh, yeah. I liked it.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, dude, I got nothing left. I have more, but we'll talk in a different episode.
All right.
I'm too angry this episode.
You want to end it with a fireside or you want to go into tech?
I don't care.
We're an hour 15 in. Let's go fireside.
Fireside.
Fireside. Fuck yeah. Get some.
I keep forgetting to do a fireside.
So I got 2 of them. We'll blow through them real quick. So this first one, this is Stockton Fire.
I love these.
Stockton's
videos,
got some
dude.
good ones.
Stockton has some great ones. So this is one of their roof ops, and I was watching. They actually break down. This house is on fire, obviously. Up here, ladder crew getting ready to cut a hole, or a truck crew.
All these guys
from the east.
videotaping Stockton. They got a lot of footage.
Dude,
why are we not doing that in Phoenix?
They're burning it up.
Are we not allowed?
So I was watching this though, and I'm watching just to take notes, obviously, as a ladder guy. Trying to just kind of see what's going on. Maybe just walking myself through it, seeing if I can learn anything from what's going on. And I noticed something about
why are
this
they cutting
video.
out the whirly bird?
So this was a fire in a garage, and typically they don't vent garages, but the fire was starting to extend in the attic. And so what they were trying to do is they were trying to give it a point to escape through so that it didn't travel through the house. They were trying to channel it to a specific point.
Sure.
But I was watching this, and I just felt like something was missing.
Oh, like a hood? Oh, get out of there.
He's got a mask on, yeah?
He's got a mask.
He's got no.
He has no
does
hood.
He not?
But no.
He's got a bottle. Yeah. Oh boy.
But none of them have hoods. And I started kind of looking through it and reading through the comments. And they say, now granted, this is Stockton. They have their own way of doing things. They probably have seen a lot more fire than I have. But they essentially talk about he's got all the PPE that he needs for what the job he's doing, that he's not in an immediately dangerous life hazard.
I wish I would have linked this video because I would say you're wrong.
Oh,
I just watched a guy
Oh, yeah.
fall
Fall
into
through
a
the
fucking
roof.
inferno. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
what about anticipating?
so what we're-
being in
what
the
My
we're
back?
fucking
taught-
engineer fell through a roof.
Well, what we're taught is anytime you're in an atmosphere that could potentially become IDLH, like on top of a building or in a building or anything like that, you are full PPE. And so they want to say he has full PPE. And so I didn't know if I'm watching that and I'm a bitch because I'm like, dude, he should have a hood on. But also the smoke is in his face and it lights up and it's flames. He could easily have been burned. It's just interesting to see the way, different thoughts.
I've seen tons of videos, guys falling into their fucking hole.
Yeah. Especially with that much smoke coming out.
Again, my fucking engineer is falling through. He just happened to fall in the right place where he fell right through the house. But I mean, he could have got hung up and fucking roasted to death.
Yeah.
Like, you'd probably want a hood on. Like, what? How hard is it to put a hood on?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, do your thing, man. But
That being said, Stockton's videos are.
they got some badass
dude,
shit.
they've got great shit.
Shout out
They
Stockton.
always
They
have
fucking
good
got
shit.
They've got some pretty sweet.
They got some of the best ones I've seen. They really
Yeah.
do have good ones. If you're like residential house fire, they got good videos.
And their programs really, whoever does it, because they do that, like you were saying, they do that play by play. So if you're watching it,
It's
it'll
great,
tell you,
dude.
like this engine company's
Yeah.
entering on the north side of the building.
Yeah,
Here-
why do we not do that?
It's super cool.
I think I think historically we've never done that because of liability issues or,
All these other departments are doing it. What's the big deal? What are you afraid of? Throw that shit out there.
I don't know. What are you afraid of? I don't know.
If you fuck up, you fuck up. Like, that's how you get better, right?
Last thing I got is a friendly PSA.
I was interested to see if you'd play this one.
Friendly PSA for all you firemen out there.
Oh boy.
As somebody who knows some stories about some stories, I'm going to just throw this out there to anybody watching. Keep your dick pics to yourself.
Yes.
Nobody cares. They can be held ransom. It's a thing.
Or send them to Adam at our IG
Or
account.
Yeah. Please do throw them in our
But-
inbox.
To all you firemen following lovely Miss Vibes.
There might be a penis there. I can't tell.
Johnny, I want you to tell me, what do you notice about this young lady? You got to play it with no audio.
What do I notice about her?
Mm-hmm.
Purple.
Watch her hand, John.
Yo.
Whoa. Is this AI?
This bitch is AI.
Right there.
All you firemen
Right
on
there.
this young lady's page, and I know who you are because some of you are friends with me, so I know
Oh,
that
you're serious.
I know there's
They're following her.
They're following her, and I don't know if you're chatting or comments because I can't see your DMs.
The forum, not only does it get a little finger splay there, look how big, thick the forum gets too.
Gentlemen, we've done bits on AI and how to identify fake shit. Look at their hands. The fingers don't just create out of nowhere for now. You're better than this.
Extra finger.
I expect more from you guys. Stop following fucking AI bitches.
Having said that,
Unless you know she's AI and you're cool with it, and then okay. Just don't fall for it. She's not real.
I saw
porn's
one the other
porn,
day
dude.
where
she doesn't want to meet you.
well, I saw one the other day, the same kind of warning, and it was like dudes putting an AI mask over them.
Oh,
we're in fucking trouble, boys. We're in
Great.
trouble.
all the trans don't need surgeries now. They can just do it
Get
online.
behind the screen, dude. Do it on a fucking camera.
Until you got to meet in person.
Who says you have to? You're making $1 million a month. You got to meet shit.
No, I'm saying like if it was like if you're trying to catfish somebody, like
What'd you say?
Catfish?
Oh, okay.
I didn't say the other version.
Okay.
The homegrown.
There's another. There's
homegrown. Yeah. Anyway, so that's all I got. Little PSA, little roof ops,
I like it. I like it.
and with a feel good.
I'm sorry for all the Debbie Downer stuff today, but
It's all right.
open your eyes.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
Touch grass.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining.
That's all we got.
Shout out, Ruben.
Next week.
This week. What? This week.
Next week.
This
Whoa.
week.
This week.
We're gonna throw in a little bonus episode.
Boner episode.
Little boner episode, dude.
It might not make it to the Spotify's or the Apples, but it'll be online.
Yeah.
Living
Thanks,
in video
Ruben.
form. All right, everybody. Peace.
Later.
And we're out.